Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Psychonauts. So, we are at the top of the tower. Let's see, it's the lab of Dr. Lobato. From the looks of it, it seems like we're likely just gonna get in his head. Unless there just is no level for Dr. Lobato at all. And that's weird because we have this like rat girl that was summoning rats. And she gave us this whole frustration experience to get up to that level. So you would think you would fight her or jump into her brain or something. There's 3 brains left in this level and 4 psi cards. So clearly this is not going to be too much of a experience. They're putting a gate here to make sure that you remember you can be invisible. Or possibly they wanted us to use telekinesis to take this and just find a nice wet place to chunk that. Yeah, it seems like there's invisible walls all over the place, so you can't chunk it too far.
How can something as small as Vernon's brain hold so many boring stories?
And we're getting sound effects of the wind while in the cutscene. I mean, you can shoot it. Also,
Worthless! These brains are worthless, Shigo.
see,
Just
now
like
we're
the
back
one
to a
in your
cutscene.
head.
No, they're nice. They're nice brains, Dr. Lobato. Really?
They're too nice. They won't fight. I need killers. I need angry brains. I squeeze them, I poke them, I twist them. What do I have to do to make them fight? Maybe I should try my drill.
I'm not gonna bring you any more brains if you're gonna be so mean to them.
No matter what I do?
No matter what.
Not even if I...
Don't!
Not even if I cook you a little...
Doctor, no!
A little turtle soup?
Please, Dr. Lobato, no!
It's way too late in the
Nice
game
hot
to
turtle soup.
to threaten
Nothing better than
introduce a
cold night like this
characters.
than some boiling hot soup.
Mr. Pokey,
Oh, okay. You sure?
I mean, yes!
All right. Oh, why don't I just go ahead and heat you up a cup? It's made of turtles that you love. Isn't that right, Mr.
So are we
Pokey?
jumping into the turtle's brain?
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just make some for myself. Bring me a good brain, Shigo, or Mr. Pokelope becomes Mr. Smokylope.
So they've introduced an assistant who's being forced to help,
Smokylope.
and the
When you're
turtle.
a dentist, you have to learn to have a sense of humor, you know. It helps to calm the patients down.
So unless they're gonna merge like all 3 of these people into one level, I don't understand how this is gonna go. And then he's got the female camp counselor, but they didn't show the other camp counselor brain. What I think is interesting, how that looks like a face. I think it's stupid, definitely, to have a shield around a character and not explain or establish that when getting into a level. I think it's stupid to introduce characters extremely late into the game. Like there's just kind of no way you should be doing it like this. You should have, if you were going to have Lobato be the bad guy, you should have introduced him as a potential bad guy, like a most wanted poster that at the very beginning of the game. If you were going to give him an assistant, you should have shown the assistant. She should have popped up at some random points, just so she matters as a character. I mean, she really does just feel like she's being there to
Can't
be
get a good
abused.
grip.
Right, so you got a tank, and you just walk into this region, and
Why, it's a nice little precious juicy brain wrapped up in some sort of
yeah, so apparently they have Agent Nines and the other camp counselor. I never even caught her name.
Slip that brain into something
Brain.
more comfortable. Shigor! That package General Oleander mentioned has arrived. Please take it up to the holding area and keep it fresh until I'm ready to stick in my thumb and pull out a plum.
Yeah, I don't.
Listen, the man you're working for is a deranged lunatic.
I know. I hate him. But if I don't do what he says, he'll...
Cook your little turtle from the inside out. Shigor, hostage situations like this are always extremely delicate. I'll have to extract Mr. Pokelope from his prison using my psychic powers. After which, this Lobato character should be fairly trivial to neutralize.
Yes, because once we get Mr. Pokilo back, he'll tell us what to do. He always tells me what to do.
Yes.
Okay, so
Sasha, Mia, Lily.
Rad.
this is weird
Hey,
Of
because
course I
now
did.
we're being
We gotta get you
guaranteed
out
that
of here.
Agent 9 is not.
Coach must have lured Sasha and Mia here on official Psychonauts business and then ambushed them with sneezing powder. They're completely brainless.
I know. I saw their brains downstairs. Listen, first things first.
And the audio is
I was
just
thinking
jumping
about what you
loud.
said about us making out.
And-
Yeah? Oh man, I'm so glad he showed up. I was just starting to feel slightly less phlegmy. Wait, he didn't just hear. Ah! Get away from me. Stop reading my mind. Go rebrain Sasha and Mia so they can help us break this lock.
Yeah, this. Unless the twist was going to be that Agent 9 or her are psychically walking around in someone else's brain, Coach Oleander's brain, we're not going to have any kind of twist here. It would be interesting, certainly, if this was like a Saw twist and his brain really wasn't missing and he was just faking it. But at this rate, I don't trust Psychonauts enough to do that, so it's just going to be so straightforward, which there's really no reason to reveal that Coach Oleander was the bad guy if you weren't going to have a twist. You could have left that as a mystery as to one of the potential people are the bad guy. So we've got cake.
Okay, then we'll talk about that making out thing later.
Why do boys have no concept of a moment? That was a moment. This is not a moment. Sheesh.
Hey, I totally understand, I swear.
Mr. Pokey!
Interesting, you can knock these over,
Can't even come up here to enjoy it!
but you can't even psychically do anything. Okay, so if I was to equip clairvoyance and then come over to this item and use this, she sees me as a hero. Interesting. with a rose of Romeo. Interesting. And then if I was to, let's see, there's really, I don't think anything else that we can, you can't clairvoyance the
I must be out of range
cake.
or something.
So what if I was to just say, go into his brain? I'll try to go into his brain.
Please don't let anything happen to him.
Nothing happens. It just falls down. It just falls down again. That just falls down too.
Yep.
So it just falls down off of her. So if they just don't want you to go into people's brains, they just stop you from going into people's brains. With no explanation as to why that wouldn't work. Alright. We are getting brains, I suppose, and
What
cards.
Can I tell you? You were right. The old legends were true.
Now I did miss one brain in the previous the previous level.
Welcome back to the thinking world, Mikhail.
So as far as collectibles go now, I have found everything in this upper section. And it is just one big spinning dome. Okay. So unless we are supposed to go inside the turtle's brain, we are either supposed to telekinesis wise pull the turtle.
Mr. Pokylo, if you could move just under that hole there, then I could lift you straight out. Could you do that for me? Huh?
Okay, so it's slightly different. You didn't use the cake to get him to move. Then you lift him up and put him on the ground. Now we have him. And unless that was going to drastically make the assistant crazier, I assume that's the right move. Let's go give the turtle back to the assistant. I really don't care to try and go fill my health up to the max, because what I really need to do is go back to the camp, buy more dream fluff, because I'm completely out. Like, it was weird to limit me to 3.
Mr. Pokylo! Oh, Mr. Pokylo! I was so scared! Now you're back, Mr. Pokylo, and you'll tell us what to do!
It's gonna be funny, he's gonna talk.
You've got a plan or something, right, Mr. Pokylo? Right?
That's right, baby. Daddy's here. Everything's gonna be all right. Now, here's what we're gonna do.
See, it'd be funnier if Raz had this, like, jaw drop reaction in the background. It's like, he can talk? Even if he doesn't say anything, it would be...
Dr. Lobato?
But see, they'd already done that.
It's a really good one.
That's what you always say, Shigor.
No, this one is really special. It's a fighter.
Oh, just leave it there, and I'll get to it right after I'm done with this experiment.
Okay.
Whose
Don't
brain
worry,
is it?
baby. Just make sure I get put in that old tank, and Daddy will take care of business.
So the human-looking brain is the turtle's brain. Okay, so...
Don't worry, Mr. Pokylope. I'll guard your body and we'll get your brain back really soon. It's doing
now we're in-game cutscene. Okay, well, I don't know how that's specifically going to help immediately here.
So, did you say they knew I was coming?
Yeah, that little army man ought to be here any second. Mr. Pokey
So, okay, like, I guess we're gonna probably just trigger a final battle, and I don't think that there's, I mean, unless this final battle is really, really difficult, I think we're probably gonna be fine, even without the dream fluff. If not, we would have to potentially go all the way back to the main level. It would be nice if we could, say, use this.
I'm pretty high up. I hope this ride isn't too scary. Well, at least it's fast.
Yeah. And see, we've just kind of forgotten completely about him as a character. They've already done the idea of animals and monsters talking with Linda. Let's go ahead and skip this. And then... Ooh, we didn't see a scavenger hunt item. Like... Which makes me wonder if the voodoo doll isn't a storyline based thing that you get to represent that you have that you've beaten the main story. And all I can really do, we never did find out where you could change the
Hey,
colors.
anything new in the store?
Take a look.
Like,
Dream fluffs. Delicious excellent choice. What else can I do you for? Excellent
it would be nice if you could buy more of these.
Sold to the big-headed kid with the gloves. What else can I do you for? What else can I do you for?
Yep.
Now,
And there's
that's
really
a
nothing else that
Psychonauts,
needs to be
alright?
purchased.
Go get more airheads and come on back.
Just more of these characters are getting returned to where they are, but I don't think they have any like different lines of dialogue.
Hey, wanna help me save the world?
Nah, I feel pretty good letting you take care of that. I'm sure you got that under control. I gotta practice for the big celebration afterwards.
Hey, wanna help me save the world?
Nah, I feel pretty good letting you take care of that. I'm sure you got that under control.
So apparently that's the same response for both of them.
Wow. I never thought you two would get back together.
I know. Isn't it just too romantic? I just hope James won't be too crushed.
Shh. You promised. No talking.
So yeah, it'll kind of suck, I suppose. And they don't like show you any of the achievements here. Yeah, unless you change the glowingness of your orb in this system, which it doesn't seem like you do. It seems to me very much like you are not really, it's not worth your time to run around and talk to everybody now. All you're gonna get is a very basic bit of conversation. Meanwhile, yeah, we are just going to drag out a game trying to get that content. Okay, let's go ahead and jump back over here. I wonder if the milkman throws the bottle after. Like, just throws the bottle after you beat the final battle. Yeah. And I don't believe there's probably a way to go back down, because that's what I would really want, is to go back down to the previous section. How do we get up? There was a ladder. Yeah, so where did the ladder come out of? Yeah, I don't think it connects anymore. Okay.
Excellent. There it is. Good work, Shigor. Now all we have to do is get it in the brain tank somehow.
Okay, well, it is not difficult
Careful there now.
to put that in the brain tank.
It's time to make the soup.
And that just shoots him. He was holding somebody's brain. You can definitely see how they're just rushing to the end here.
Nice
Like-
and easy.
I guess maybe they didn't want the bad guy to just become a good guy through Psychonauts action.
But Rasputin, recranialization of an adult brain without surgery.
That's a very advanced procedure. How did you know how to do it?
Well, I've studied it a little. But Shigor here knows more about handling brains than anyone I've ever met.
So apparently
Really?
she's just
you
gonna
know,
be
I've been thinking about getting
new.
a lab assistant.
Shigor, darling, do you know where all of the other children's brains are?
Well, if
she's
you
just
can lead
like
us
a
to them,
puppy.
we can bring them back to their owners immediately.
Ahem.
Immediately after we break young Miss Donato here out of her restraints.
Why did they restrain these two?
Rasputin, instead of that, why don't you help me free Mrs. Donato?
That's nice, darling, but why don't you help us instead? Oh!
There we go. Saving autosave, point of no return.
Finally! If
Interesting.
Madmen gave me a cowlick, Coach Oleander's gonna burn.
At least he never got inside your brain. It's going to take me weeks to get my rhythm back.
Rasputin, you have surprised us yet again. I
It'd be
cannot
funny
thank
if
you enough for
Coach
what you've done.
Oleander was in the
all
brain
a
of
day's work for a
her.
psychonaut.
Well, Psy Cadet, you mean.
Hey, the Psychonauts should be so lucky to get someone like Raz. The brain he's got in there is...
One in a million. Thanks to all of you for bringing it straight to my door.
Oleander.
You took all my friends' brains. You turned an innocent fish into a giant monster. You stole all the teachers, derailing my education. And you kidnapped my girlfriend.
Rasputin, this fight is too big for you.
Back home, I had to clean up after the elephants. So trust me, I know how to take care of this ugly little pile of...
Kids, let the grown-ups handle this.
So they're just gonna throw them out of the room.
People,
And I guess it would make
Sasha!
a more interesting,
well, it's official.
make a
The
more
genius
interesting
is
level
back.
if all three of them were
Time to
merged
go get
together
ready for my Garrity show.
as one brain fighting each other.
Uh-oh, this looks bad. Ah, well, that's good. Someone must have turned off the gas long ago.
Oh, here's what my poor flowers need. A little water.
So everybody's just gonna coincidentally start a...
Oh no, I spilled
Start a
all my
fire.
turpentine and acetone.
the gas, turpentine, and acetone, all highly flammable things.
Hey, Boyd! Long time no see.
Oh, Mr. Orderly. I did not see you there. I was just taking a little therapeutic walk in the moonlight.
Relax, the asylum's closed. We can all go home.
Leave? Here?
Yeah,
So they're
this
gonna-
place is for crazy people. And I don't know about you, but I ain't crazy no more.
I have to tell you, I'm feeling pretty good.
You know, maybe
So
it
they're
is
just
time for us
having
all
to clean
move
up.
on.
What do you think, Boyd? You ready to blow this popsicle stand?
So the other guy, the assistant,
The milkman has completed his route. You guys want to split a cab?
yeah, honestly, this whole part of the story just feels pointless. Like, why do they need to
And
to
the crib
burn the
wasn't
place?
even that clean. I mean, what do I have to do to get those guys to take me seriously?
She's leaning in to
Going
kiss
to
him.
shut up and kiss me?
I can hear that.
I know.
Like, is this just the end of the game? Did we miss an entire, like, level?
Surrender. Never!
Like, or did they just run out of steam? It feels like they ran out of steam, and they literally.
Psychonauts have a word for people who turn on their own.
Ha! I don't need the Psychonauts anymore. I'm making my own army.
Yeah, it feels like
Got a
Double
word
Fun
for
just
that?
ran out of
Yeah.
production and
Gesundheit.
are now rushing to the end.
Wow.
Wow.
So I hope the autosave that was the point of no return is also like the point where I could load back to potentially get collectibles. But there seems to have been in favor of blowing up this building, which is not making any sense and seems kind of dumb. The forgetting of the fact that you were supposed to rebrain all your friends and that they should have shown up as a team, and that would be the whole summer camp thing, is everybody became good friends, they learned to work together, they showed up for the final battle.
Hey, that was my fight. I was ready for that one.
Always in such a rush, Razputin. It takes years before you're ready for combat of that magnitude.
Well, you'd be surprised, Nine. This one's been acing all my extra credit exams.
I beat the coach once already, and I can do it again.
Darling, that was just a remote projection of the coach. He wasn't as strong as he would be if he were to appear in the real world.
TV? TV?
Where's his brain?
Oh, probably stuck in one of his plans to take over the world somewhere.
Or is it in a tank? We've already fought the tank once.
Hey, how's the weather down there?
It's so obvious if you're gonna say the bad guy is a bad guy and he's obsessed with military.
Glad you're finally picking on someone your own size.
Yes, I've been dying for a chance to pick your brain.
And I don't know if there's even a fight here or if this is just not another
Two can play
cutscene.
that game.
Yeah, but only one can win.
Yeah. So, no audio as it's building a shield around itself.
Can't get a good grip.
Okay. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be very quickly destroying things or what. I wonder if I'm supposed to clear a path and then smack things around behind there, because we've got a fairly clear path now. And see, maybe I need a shield instead of the levitation, so let's put that there. Well, am I supposed to?
Get a good grip.
What's the next step? There. Am I supposed to? Let's go ahead and fire.
Watch it. Can't get a good grip.
Okay. And see, we probably would just need to use the bacon, but let's try.
Watch it.
Like you're not
Can't get a
supposed
good
to.
grip.
There we go. So we were supposed to just, I suppose, leak out enough of a brain. This is, once again, just going to be really grindy. I mean, not particularly difficult at all. There we go. And since we refilled our dream fluff, we're fine. And this is just gonna do the Nintendo do it 3 times, and then you're gonna win. It's just a very pathetic boss level. You would think we would go back into a more difficult version of the first brain level instead.
Can't get a good grip.
I'm kind of in a bad position. If I go over here, I'm maybe a little bit better. And then if I just manage not to get destroyed. And hit. Like, super easy. And we're just forgetting about the bad guy orderly, and we're just forgetting about the we're forgetting about Dr. Lobato. And if Psychonauts 2 comes back and those are the 2 bad guys again, I think
Super sneezing powder.
you're gonna have to be really careful to not bore the players just doing the same thing over again.
Hold it in. This is just great. Now what am I going to do? Have to think. Like I got a choice.
And see, this would be funny if this is the end of the game. I mean, I can throw myself, certainly, into the tank. In the goo. I assume that was the only thing you could do. And so are we now back to the brain tumbler section?
My name's Marcel Oleander, but you can call me Maury or Oli.
Coach Oleander? What are you doing in my mind?
How did you get in my happy meadow? Nobody's supposed to know about it. You didn't tell my dad about it, did you? Oh, that's him! Oh no! Come on, little bunny! We'll be safe in here.
They needed to establish what this brain juice would have been to start with. As far as why brains would interact with each other. Let's go ahead and just get back to what I think I'd want. Like, let's see. So there are a whole bunch of figments, 3 cobwebs, and a vault in Tent City. Which is, I guess, where we're going. And we might have a shared situation where we are going to both have parents, both Razputin and Oleander might have fathers who are disapproving. It'd be funny if it turned out they were actually brothers.
Okay. The circus I remember from my childhood was definitely not made of meat. The last time I checked.
No! No! Little bunny, don't go in there! That's a bad place! That's a bad place for bunnies!
And I think the guy is supposed to be running into the light there, but I think the game is glitching because of different resolutions. Which I think once again highlights that they did not actually test this game with any higher resolutions in mind. And why would you? Like, it's hardly a case that Steam makes you test your game on every single setting.
I need the steamer trunk tag for this guy.
Alright, well. We're gonna just roll into things. That way we can regain as much as possible. Although I honestly don't really need too much. Getting a few more coins is fine, but there's no big focus around that. Getting my health back to the maximum. Let's see. Razputin, your journey has made you so much wiser. So why do you still hoard your goods like a miser? The items you've scavenged, the webs, the cards, and the brains, just redeem them is all that remains. Okay. I'm glad you tell me that. But what do we really have that would upgrade? Like, we're still looking for a voodoo doll. We don't have enough. Well, I guess 2 cobwebs plus 7 side cards might be the end of getting side cards. But then there's also, clearly we're still trying to get to 90 as far as the level ups. And there's plenty of figments in all the levels. Suppose we'll just talk to this guy. Brains redeemed for health equals 3. You've collected enough side cards to make another side challenge marker. Cards redeemed 9. Rank gained 1. Okay. Interesting. So does the bacon just not work?
Huh?
Okay, so this is where you
Can I
change the color of
color
your
of my
levitation ball.
Like, say, to what?
Okay. And so you've got a selection here of colors.
Okay.
Let's try
Hope
that.
that makes you feel pretty.
Nothing more to report at this time.
Crawl around.
So it's not letting you go to HQ. Which, okay. And that's, we finally figured out where you change the color of the levitation ball for whatever that's really worth. So we didn't get to see the cutscene, basically, and that sucks, of several of these characters. And we also didn't find Dugan Bull's brain. And I'm fine with skipping the cutscene to turn cobwebs into side cards and side cards into other things. But I guess what we're gonna do is come back.
I need the steamer trunk tag for this guy.
We're gonna go into this next level and see what this is.
You gotta help me save the bunny.
Once again, this just feels like it's gonna be a cutscene.
My dad. He runs a butcher shop. He wants to make food out of them.
Oh, that's right. Maury's old man was a butcher. It looks like your childhood memories of the circus got all mixed up with his childhood memories of his dad's butcher shop.
My memories were bad enough. This is just gross. Uh-oh.
And see, this feels...
You'd better keep that kid out of trouble. With your brains all scrambled like this, what happens to him happens to you.
This is just like an extreme different direction to go. As far as the storytelling is concerned. Like, we haven't seen just weird meat monstrosities or anything even particularly close to that. So are we supposed to, like, psychically... Are we supposed to psychically catch the... bunny? Or what?
Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny.
So I just psychically held him. And then that lets him use his propeller head to fly to the next level. Which... I bet that guy can't. If I was to guess. Alright, so...
Hey, that hurts.
I need to get up there fairly quickly.
My face.
This fat lady's supposed to get it up to. See, it seems weird that you wouldn't be able just to kill the parts of a personality, for better or worse. Alright. Psychically hold the bunny while this guy gets up there.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
So,
I got you, Mr. Bunny.
the problem here, and I bet I can just come back and get collectibles later, is that this does not suit you well
My face.
as a final level or any level, because your increased health does not matter. Right.
Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny.
And unless we were supposed to do this 3 times.
My face. Ow!
Come on.
Hey, that hurts. Hey, that hurts.
That apparently reset his health.
Ow! Ow! Hey, that hurts. Ow! Hey, that hurts.
Is there some way we could have broken these things? Nope. Like, there's just no way you're gonna make it up there in time.
Hey, that hurts.
It's just not gonna happen.
My face. Hey, that hurts. Hey, that hurts. Ow!
And then you make that missed jump. And like the real solution here is to save scum.
My face.
Like, it's
My face.
fairly obvious that you need to just save scum here.
Bunny, bunny, bunny. Oh, no, not me. Grab the bunny. I'm not a bunny. I'm not. Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just save scum here. There's really no way you pull this off in a reasonable amount of time on your first try. What is totally missing here is the idea that we've been platforming this whole time, and that we would have been really good at doing any of these platformings. Good enough to justify having such an arbitrary setup.
Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny.
Alright. So that refills his health. Come over here and override a save. Which is funny, it made an autosave, but I don't actually see the autosleeve. And then it is just going to be straight up load that auto save and hope that the... Nope, it screws you. It screws you either
I
way.
need a steamer trunk tag for this guy.
Like... Okay. So you can't save scum either.
Here, bunny, bunny, bunny. Oh,
And I don't think a confusion grenade helps. Hmm. Where's that bunny?
please, Mr. Bun.
Where are you?
I'm not gonna
And see, you
hurt
might be better off just letting him...
Hey, that hurts.
Like, he'll never catch up with the bunny unless you psychically hold it for him.
Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny.
And you've got to
My face.
hurry up
My face.
to that point. And then
Hurts.
I want you to right that way. And that way.
My face.
Me. Am I supposed to be hitting things?
Hey, that hurts. My face. Help. Help. My face. My face.
Alright. We need to find the bunny.
Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny.
Did he jump back downward? I'm trying to figure out where I'm even supposed to go. Yeah, people are now attacking him again. Alright, so I don't know why I'm wasting my time and making it potentially where I'm gonna fail again when I should be.
Hey, that hurts. My face. Help. Hey, that hurts.
Come on.
My face.
I'm swinging.
My face.
I'm trying to jump. Why is it not working? Oh, because I'm not going the right way.
My face.
It does seem like it's reset me somewhat. But then he gets knocked down, and then are we back at the very beginning of the level? Yes.
Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny.
We've done this 3 times, with every other time in this game, we've had just a do it 3 times requirement. So it seems weird that now they are telling me to do it more.
No, not me! Grab the bunny! I'm not a bunny! I'm not here, bunny, bunny, bunny!
And you can make it. You can make it.
Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny!
And it would be very easy. Can we get back up there? Nope. We're doomed.
My face! My... Hey, that hurts! Help! My face! Hey, that hurts!
And there's definitely something to be said about the fact that we are still in a scenario where we don't quite know how to get where we're supposed to go. As far as some of these hovering areas. This guy throws knives fairly slowly. Slow enough to really mess you up. Alright.
Oh, I got you, Mr. Bunny!
And they're not going to reskin this level, so we kind of know that there's
My face! My face!
Did I make it?
Hey, that hurts!
I think I may have made it.
My face! Hey, that hurts!
I guess I'm supposed to
Hey, that hurts!
jump on this rope. We've seen some Double Fine logos, which I guess that's where these two-headed Double Fine Legos came from originally. I've certainly seen them in other places. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Here, bunny, bunny, bunny!
Make it. Where are you? Come on. Make it and make it to safety.
I got you, Mr. Bunny!
And we're just skipping any collectibles. Alright. Are we now safe, potentially? We're safe enough. See, I don't know if I'm supposed to be landing on these knives and swinging on them, or what. Guess we were supposed to do that.
We did it! We saved all the bunnies! Now it's time for the main event! Come on!
There's literally only one bunny. Alright, well. We'll roll around here. Try to regain as much health as possible. Open the vault. The big top. Playing with bunnies. The father shows up and butchers them. Yeah, okay. It seems to me like there probably is... Yeah. If I was to jump up and then hover and then try and hit that. And then hover back, I can get that one. We missed clearly one over there. But I just want to move the story forward. I seriously doubt we are going to bother to try and get all the collectibles. I do see that there is... I have like 18 out of 37 achievements, which I think probably does highlight that I would need to go and get all the collectibles. I'm gonna have to really think hard though if I would want to go any further with that. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an achievement for getting every cutscene, and I've probably missed a couple as far as the rebranding cutscenes. We're just going to have apparently knife throwers throwing knives at us all over the place. I would be fairly happy if we were fairly close to the end of the game, and or the end of this level at least, and I think there's a chance that that is the case. We still don't have any like scavenger hunt items, which wouldn't I think be in levels anyways. I guess we are riding the rails. Nothing else seems to make any sense. Riding the rail. And no double jump. And that didn't take any damage when you... Normally, in a lot of games, you will take damage when you fall on something. But here they're not even bothering to do that. I guess I'm supposed to hover? Because double jump is not working? Unless I'm supposed to... Oops, almost missed something there.
Got it.
Like, unless I'm supposed to use my ball on the rail, which that's not working. I think it's just hover. Either that or it's supposed to be jump. Okay. Now you can't press Y to go anywhere else. It does feel like there's probably some places here where you could potentially jump to your death to try and get other collectibles. Yeah, I think this is going to take a while. I think this is probably another example of an idea that was unpolished, and so they're loading it at the end of the game because they suspect nobody is going to recognize that you missed it, or a lot of players aren't going to make it to the end. It would be weird to have a rabid fan base around Psychonauts, or a niche fan base around Psychonauts. I don't know how big their fan base really is. I'm questioning it a lot. And I'm not really trying to get collectibles here, but if I can get them, that will slightly affect my decision. See if I can load here, and then, well, I say I'm not trying to get collectibles, but then I'm falling to my death to get collectibles. How many are even left? Yeah, 10. So we've got to be fairly close to the end. You can save yourself a little bit of time trying to jump. But there isn't anything down here. I don't know why falling to your death is the preferable way when we've already seen them make a system where they maybe I need to speed up. That's probably it. I haven't been pressing forward. Yeah, there's already a system though to adjust for falling and hitting just the circus tents, the circus trapeze things. Yeah, and the second you get a little bit of speed on this, wow. That speed worked really well. This would probably be your last opportunity to get all the collectibles. We're missing 4. Almost certainly all 4 of them are in the last level. We're also missing a tag, and we know what a bag is. So we probably missed just a tag. I wouldn't be surprised if, in part, once again we have an autosave, we are sleeping through and dreaming all of this adventure, and our father is trying to wake us up, and that's why we see the ghosts of our father.
We're all safe.
No, it's not safe. He's coming.
Who's coming?
My dad.
Your dad? The butcher?
He says little bunnies are good for nothing. Nothing but food.
Here, little bunnies. Don't run, or else Daddy's gonna kill you.
Also, once again, very, very late in the story to introduce a new character. This would have been a great kind of like Pyramid Head type character to have him show up and just attack you. Alright, well. So shooting, probably not what we need. Getting in the center gives you a odd sound effect that is reminiscent of well, it's reminiscent of Roger Rabbit.
Come here, bunny.
Okay, what are we doing? Are we infinite running?
Here, bunny, bunny.
Like, he's got these meat hooks on him, he's got these giant things. A smaller version of this that would chase you out of every brain, and you would just not know where he's coming from, and there would just not be any explanation as to who this character is until the very end. Would have made a lot of sense. Okay, well.
Come here, little bunny.
Okay. Alright, so. It's not just confusion. It's confusion and probably telekinesis. Which means we're gonna have to lose the shields. He seems to almost have a kick effect. Like, how come this is not working? Like, none of it's working. Okay. So, is it not the confusion? Just use the bacon.
Huh?
Need your analysis on a hostile.
What kind?
Let's see. How do you kill an armless guy with swords in his mouth? Hellish bunnies spewing forth meat grinders. Ever been confused by a rat? So, this is kind of just every
You've been very
single
helpful. That's all I need.
Good luck.
every single person you've found and fought.
Huh?
Agent Cruller, do you have any advice on the current situation?
Next time his cleaver gets stuck in the ground, run up his arm and punch him in his fat head.
Okay.
Nothing more to report at this time.
Cruller out.
So how does this cleaver get stuck in the ground? Because I'm not really okay. So it seems to me what we have to do is probably probably need a shield first of all, because I don't think we're gonna do anything there, and we'll go ahead and activate that too. Because I think we need to keep him slightly off the outer ring, so he'll actually do that attack. But I think we probably also need to get...
Don't run, or else Daddy's gonna kill you.
See, this guy's gonna wreck me as far as having 3 Dream Fluff. So, if you hadn't upgraded any at all, like, if you had just completely not upgraded your health and not gotten Dream Fluff, you would almost certainly... Alright, we want to get up his arm. And apparently doing that... Doing that wall on a ball is not the easiest path.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Why does his cut of the psychic ball, though... Yeah. Yeah, I kind of have to question that as far as... They've got this programmed in such a way that you kind of stick to his arm, but they're not really trying to help you a lot. They're only trying to help you a little. He seems to cycle through the 3 different attacks fairly similarly. Doesn't feel like there's a lot of randomization or variety to have here. Alright, well. And it seems like we are again away from the Nintendo Do It 3 times.
Come here, bunny.
I don't think this really compares to fighting Bowser in Mario 64, which honestly this game doesn't compare well to, I think, any platformer. Maybe some of the more annoying ones. with super difficult bosses. There was definitely a more modern 3D platformer that both had frustrating levels and had a really frustrating boss, and I'm not sure I even beat the final boss. Yeah. I'm just not used to pressing the buttons they want me to press in the order they want me to press them. Like, the having a run button, it has not made any sense to not get really good at using the levitation ball. So for you to be in a situation where you need the levitation ball to really not be enabled. Finally. One would hope that was the end of the battle. What did he just do? He didn't chop his brain in half, did he?
What's going on here? What have you done to our circus?
Dad!
Polluted.
So.
Perverted. This looks like the work of mentalists.
I can explain.
Have you been associating with psychics?
Dad,
Psychics. Fortune tellers. They killed your grandfather. They cursed our entire family to die in water.
Yes, but...
Including you, Razputin. And me. But I'm going to live. You know why? Because I'm still an acrobat. Let's see if you are.
So, are we really fighting?
What's it going to be, son?
Our father?
Die in the water? Or show me what you got?
Or are we just doing a platforming thing, fighting our father? Which I suppose they did hint at somewhat that they are that we were going to deal with the father, and the father might be a issue. Okay. So as soon as you come, why are we getting the pop-up Razputin ghost?
Quick, up here, before the cold, clammy hand of fear pulls you under. Let's see if you remember now. You can't really catch those. It's just this.
Where are we supposed to be going?
Here comes.
I messed up there.
You used to like to play that. Think fast.
Okay, we need this.
Maybe if you spent more time practicing your acrobatics and less time reading those comic books.
Alright. So
Think fast. Incoming. There you go. Face up. You used to like to play that.
seriously, am I gonna get any kind of checkpoint here?
You can't really catch those. Just this. Face up. Catch. There you
Some of these actually will just overshoot you.
Think fast. There you go.
Some of these will not overshoot you.
Pretty good.
I guess I'm supposed to be using the hover ability here. Seems right. And then
Razputin!
okay.
You used to like to play catch with me. Think fast! There you go.
So I think we're just going through these flaming lit rings.
Pretty good. Now you can't read.
This is one of those scenarios, though, where they're pretty much lighting you up in such a way that you're going to fail the first time. There's just no way you're going to be able to know what to do. It's funny, these little meat bubbles.
Hey son, catch! No, you can't really catch those.
Okay. And I think they literally just want me to, man, they point you in the wrong direction.
Up here!
Unless I'm going the wrong direction.
Think fast! There you go.
Like, he's throwing things, but I don't think he's even throwing them in the right direction.
Good. Pretty good. Think fast! Good. Pretty good. It will help. Hey son, catch! Incoming! You used to like to play catch. There you go.
Okay. Is it gonna give me a checkpoint? Nope. So unless he's not gonna throw the shots at me. And we're not losing health every time we fall, but we are losing health every time the game lets me run into flame. Which means now we're in a scenario where either I take a hit to get the annoying sound effects going, why did that not work? That one should have made it. We're here. We're waiting for it to pass. Wait, let's make sure we can line up. And then I hope there's a checkpoint there. Oh my goodness, this is awful. So we dream fluffed, and then we have to get to that ladder, and then I think climb down the ladder, which doesn't make sense since this whole area is just flooding with water. Interesting. I'm going down the ladder, so I have to press downwards. But it's taking me up the physicality as if the whole world is upside down. Which maybe it is. And see, this would be probably better as a cutscene.
I made it!
You cheated!
No! I used the acrobatics you taught me!
Don't lie to me, cheater!
You also used
You
psychic
crystal
abilities.
ball readers always cheat! You're no son of mine.
So now is
Only
it going to be a
okay?
boss fight
Where's your
between
dad?
He's over there, talking to your dad.
He did what?
Uh-oh.
Somebody's going to get grounded!
Make that ground.
Okay, so now we've got a new boss fight. Let's see if maybe we're supposed to throw these.
Good. Pretty good. There you go.
Okay.
You used to like to play caps with
I don't think it is as much a case of throwing the things as it is. Maybe we get it stuck. We can run behind the guy for what that's worth. Okay.
No, you can't really catch those. I was just testing.
Like, you can definitely feel how the father has like a limited number of lines recorded for him.
Pretty good.
Come on, come on. I just don't think I can even use the ball here. I think it probably would be better to sweep into a shield.
Come here. Puncture wound. Flaming puncture wound.
Think fast.
Alright. We got close. We're close to what we need. See, it's, I think, intentionally trying to give me as much health as possible.
You used to like to play catch with me.
Yeah. And the dream fluff is gone at this point, I'm sure.
Really catch those. Just testing.
Here, bunny, bunny, bunny.
Alright, so we're at near full health. And this is a good point to just experience what it probably is like. Alright, we need the ball. I cannot maneuver without the ball. Like, I can't get away from him enough to even catch a breath.
No, you can't really catch those. I'm just testing you.
And see, when he gets it stuck, it doesn't mean anything.
Please, Mr. Bun.
There you go.
Watch it!
Yeah, and I can't leave. So it's not like I can say, alright, this isn't working, let's go back and buy some dream fluff. It would make so much sense if I could like contact with the bacon Agent Crawler. I mean, we can see.
Man, these things smell terrible. Am I sure I want to do this? No, I think I'll stay in this mine for a while longer.
I don't think I could do anything even if I tried that. Let's use the bacon.
Huh?
Agent Cruller?
Let's see if maybe there's a twist here.
Okay, do not run up the flaming arms. Try TKing some of your dad's flaming clubs into the butcher. And then if he ends up, say, curled up in agony, then you can punch him in his fat head.
Nothing more to report at this time.
Crawler out.
Alright. So we want to go here, and I'm thinking what we're in a situation of is we probably have to just do a lot of flipping of things telekinetically. Yeah, I think we're just gonna start early and
Flaming. No, you can't reach catch those. I was just
Watch it.
come on.
Stupid, spiky, flaming, juggling.
Alright, so if I can get it one more time, I don't know if the game is getting easier on me or what.
Incoming. Don't run. Puncture wound.
I probably just needed to throw more than it seemed like he needed to. And I wouldn't be surprised if for some people that was actually
Razputin. I
like
see your
easy.
skull is as hard to penetrate as ever.
Dad!
What is your brain doing out here in this tank with this other brain? And who are all these unconscious people? What have you gotten yourself involved with? Psychics. He's been cavorting with filthy, cheating psychics. Is that really how I look in your mind? Man, do I hate psychics. And seeing my son happy. I don't hate psychics. I used my psychic connection with you to find you, and to project myself into your mind.
But how can you hate me for being psychic if you're psychic too?
Son, I could never hate you. I only wanted you to be happy, Razputin. And safe.
So we're just gonna get a sappy cutscene here.
I have a lot more hair than that. Now, son, we have to carefully unweave your psyche from that other brain. We don't want anything bad to happen while your mind is in this tangled state. The damage could be permanent. Unweave? Detangle? Never.
This is ridiculous.
I like it.
Do we need a third boss fight after having a tank fight? It was more of a puzzle fight.
This is your mind, so you are the strong one here. But I'm about
Yeah, you can definitely see
son.
that
Must take care
at some point this game was just going to be a boss rush game. A lot of cutscenes, and then you were going to fight a boss. Then you would see some more cutscenes, and you'd fight another boss. So I'm hoping that this is just like an all-powerful beat 'em up scenario. We have plenty of lives, but a lot of people also wouldn't have done any lives, so why were my abilities missing? I think I just glitched it. I think I just messed up. And I wasn't supposed to do any of that.
You always were slow.
Come here, buddy.
Okay. So we need some kind of...
You remember your strength.
Okay, we need to basically just run when we run out of energy.
Razputin.
I think that's pretty much all there is to it. Is that we're just going to run.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
This really is just the same fight again. And I got behind him so I can just smack him. And all I'm doing is just pressing X.
Come here, little bunny.
We've been collecting a ton of the arrowheads, which are going to be completely useless.
Come on, son.
And there I got another achievement. I think I'm up to 19 achievements now out of 37. And they're running forward, or are they running backwards?
Bunnies! No! No meat!
No more. No more meat. Look.
There you go. Good little bunny.
Which is funny because
Thanks for helping me save the bunnies.
I suppose if we
And
jump
for talking to my
back
dad.
into the brain tumbler, we're going
no
to
problem,
still
little Oli.
have weird meat levels.
Goodbye, Mr. Bun.
Where's he going?
We're separating the brains now, Razputin. He'll be fine. Let's go inside.
Man, I can't wait to tell you about all the messed up stuff that happened.
Oh, I know a lot of it. While you were out, I poked around a bit. Tell me about this Lily person.
Hey!
And so, that brings us to the end. Where, as you can clearly see, the personal demons causing my negative behavior have all been eradicated, leaving me sane once again. This is also corroborated in CAT scan number 3 on page 59 of your handouts.
And
On
see,
a
everybody
personal
is
note,
just...
I would just like to reiterate how extremely
Everybody's
sorry I am
saved.
for stealing all of your
Let's look for
brains and
Dugan
trying to take
in the
over world.
cutscene, but this is pre-rendered.
Mistakes have
There he
been
is.
made. But this camp is all about education. And I know I, for one, learned plenty. Thanks to that guy right there. Come on up here, Raz.
We endeavor to build strong minds here, with the power to lift
So we
things,
started with
to
a
see
long
things,
cutscene, and
to
it looks like we're
burn
going to end on a long
But
cutscene.
It's a special quality of your heart, not your mind, that truly makes a great psychonaut. This young man has it. We did not give it to him. He got it from
And
someone
see, he
else.
has that rock on
long
his back
before he came
that,
here.
that's keeping him sane, the
But
Psychonium.
we can give him this.
But
to
they have,
honor his
like,
mind,
completely
his
forgotten
courage,
about
and his heart.
that
Son,
aspect or
we do
that
not
part of the
normally
story.
ask this of someone so young, but it is obvious to us all that you are not average. Will you join us, Razputin? Will you be a psychonaut?
We haven't seen these cutscenes in a long time. I wouldn't be surprised if he says no. No, apparently he said yes.
Okay, let's be perfectly clear about this. That was the best summer of my whole entire life.
Hey, the summer's not over yet. We can hang out for a couple of weeks still.
My family's out on the East Coast. Where's yours?
They move around a lot.
Well, you'd better go. Your dad's waiting for you.
Well...
Bye.
Children, it's an emergency. There's been another kidnapping.
I was here the whole time. You saw me.
No, this time we know who it is, and that's what scares us.
Who was kidnapped?
Truman Zanotto, the grand head of the Psychonauts.
Dad!
Sir, can you teleport this many of us back to headquarters?
Huh? What?
So,
Hey,
wait a
what
minute.
are you people doing in my kitchen? Now get!
Guess we're taking the jet.
So they definitely tease a sequel. I wonder if Psychonauts 2 deals with this
Don't
at
worry
all.
about your dad, darling. We'll get him back.
Yes, after all, we'll have Razputin helping us.
I'm going?
Now how could we do this without our anti-kidnapping specialist?
I've taught you everything I can, son. Now, you go show them. Show
I
them
feel
all.
like I've seen the father here in other Double Fine games.
Let's go.
Probably as an Easter egg and just totally missed it. I wouldn't be surprised if Psychonauts 2 does not continue at this point, though. That would be a little silly. It also feels like it would be a little silly to try and get all of the upgrades, because literally anything they offer is not going to change those final battles by much. And yeah, I've been saying it this whole time. I just don't get this game. I don't get why it seemed like this game was popular. I think it probably was a video game critic's intellectual darling game. I feel like Tim Schafer is probably very good in making friends with games journalism, and thus they overhyped Double Fine games a lot. Also, it's, I think, worth mentioning that games journalism tends to be very small circle, as it were, and they all tend to play the same games and hype each other up on the same games. In 2005, this may have been a fresh breath of air compared to something else that would have been around that time, like maybe a Halo game, a lot of first-person shooters, certainly. But it, as a platformer, sucks. As a collectathon, it sucks. In all fairness, I would say most collectathons suck because there's very much a fine line as far as making a fun experience around collecting things and finding things. You don't just strew or drop collectibles right in front of the player in the dozens. Having a single level have like 100 figments of imagination and then not a single one of them are really hard to get is way too much as far as a collectible. It's way too much as far as a breadcrumb. If they were making it so that it was supposed to tell you this is the way to go, that might have made sense if there was a lot fewer of them and the levels were a lot more open world and you could get lost, but that's not really how that played out. Yeah, I couldn't imagine I'd really want to go back and do that level again. unless they give you an ability to now not get caught by water, which storyline wise they didn't really solve that fear or that curse of water. So I assume in Psychonauts 2 the curse of water is going to show up. Seems like this second half of people that they was just shown on that art, they could have easily been a second game, and I would have much preferred to just start Psychonauts as, hey, you're going to a summer camp, there's a bunch of psychic kids, you're going to have to jump into the brain of each of the kids, and even if you didn't do a full level, that would have been fine. For each brain, if it made you do a race, or this is a level where you have 5 minutes to find all the figments of the imagination, or this is a level where you have to platform from point A to point B, that would be fine. Since it's all taking place in somebody's brain anyways, those levels didn't have to be long. And there's definitely a big problem with the length of the levels we get, and then the small quantity of levels we get. Apparently the game was updated in 2011. 10 years past that, playing this in 2021, it needs a whole remake. But I don't know what you really do to remake this game. You probably just soft reboot. Almost certainly Psychonauts 2 is going to be a soft reboot. Now, Psychonauts 2 is not out as of me playing this episode, and I think this will probably be the last episode of the series. We'll see what the game lets us do. I doubt we're going to get a compass or a magnet or anything that would point us towards the last few collectibles. Yeah, if you were going to try and cheaply remake this game, I would take all the cutscenes, re-render all the cutscenes, try and tell a very linear story, get rid of all the gameplay, or almost all the gameplay anyways. There's a ton of 2005 era experimentation as far as mechanics in this game, that none of which get polished, and none of it gets used, which is the bigger, sadder statement. Is Double Fine went after this point to make Brutal Legend, which was a action game. Sure, they're not even really pausing on the images. Like, I'd need to be able to see that image for more than a split second to see all the characters. So they took a little bit, I'm sure, of their programming to make Brutal Legend, but then when they make things like Broken Age and which is just a point-and-click adventure game, the coding for 3D models and 3D movement and platforming and rolling on a ball, none of that ever shows up in any other Double Fine game. And that would have been fine had Psychonauts 2 come out in 2009, but it doesn't make a lot of sense otherwise. Tim Schafer is in the bottom left, one from the bottom right, one from the right. And they didn't even stand there. Alright. So this would be load save game. This would be start a new game. There's not going to be any new game plus. The only thing I could think is that there would be a continue here. And let's see.
Man, these things smell terrible. Am I sure I want to do this? I'm ready.
So if at that save point you wake up, you then here don't have the brain tumbler. Let's see what happens if we jump down there. Nothing. So the Milkman Conspiracy, Waterloo World, Milla's Dance Party, Brain Tumbler Experiment, Lungfishopolis, Oleander's Basic Brain, Glorious Theater, Sasha's Shooting Gallery.
Man, these things smell terrible. Am I sure I want to do this?
Can we do this a second
I'm
time?
ready.
And see if this takes me outside of this area. Oh, no. Interesting.
Watch it.
Oh, so you can't do anything anyways. As far as... Well, and the game crashed there. Okay, well, as far as it goes, like, I could go back and I could try and find all the collectibles. Sure, I get that. But I couldn't get this voodoo doll, wherever that is. And I couldn't get, I don't think I can do much of anything else. Let's see. We can, I'm looking at the achievements here. Yeah, there's not a lot of substance in the game. So, yeah, there's an achievement. The achievements I haven't gotten are achieve a rank 101, which is weird, because I thought it would stop at 100. Sort all the emotional baggage, crack all the vaults, gather all the figments, redeem all 16 scavenger hunt items, find all the golden helmets, which we missed that, rebrain the children, which I don't think I can do that, find Edgar's secret garden, which I guess there was a secret area I missed, uncover Mila's secret, introduce the all camp kids to Mr. Pokelope, which you pretty much wouldn't have been able to do that. See yourself through the eyes of many others, revisit all brains after completion, complete the punchy target minigame, hear Vernon's ghost story, spy on Bobby's love life, give the coach's speech on the stump, cook and consume 2 different kinds of roast in one sitting. And then there's one hidden achievement. Yeah. So for all of that, I just don't think there's enough of a motivation here for me to want to play that. And even if I was to try to relaunch Psychonauts at this point, it's just going to take forever to reinstall the Microsoft Visual C runtime. So I'm not going to go any further. We made it to the end. I'm a little surprised we even made it that far, frankly. But I don't get Psychonauts. It probably was a game of its time. I am definitely not motivated to play Psychonauts 2. I can say it seems like it's 96% positive as far as Steam reviews. So people back in 2005, or whenever this actually came to PC, which was probably 2011, were hyped about it then. But yeah, by comparisons to older games in my book, like Mario 64, which is much more of an interesting collectathon and has basically no story, so Psychonauts beats it on that, I still would rather play Mario 64. By comparing it to more modern 3D platformers, maybe there aren't that many modern 3D platformers that are any better, but that's maybe just a statement that that 3D platforming is dead as a concept, as a game. Comparing it to modern games with stories, Psychonauts is awful. The graphics look terrible in the pre-rendered cutscenes. The level design is terrible. It really would need a full reboot. It needs way better writing. There's not comedy that's hitting with me in the game. It's just completely falling flat on nearly every beat. If the theme of the game was to be in a summer camp environment, they kind of forgot about that immediately. If the theme of the game was to be jumping into the minds of crazy people, well, then kids at summer camp probably are close to crazy people, so we should have been jumping in their minds a little bit more too. I am glad that they kind of forgot about Bobby Zilch, because he was an annoying character, certainly, but they kind of forgot about every other kid also. I feel like if you are going to enjoy Psychonauts, you have to probably stretch out as much of the content as possible and talk to everybody multiple times and somehow find a way to love the characters a lot more than the game is trying to help you love the characters. I don't even really like Razputin as a character. He's just kind of a perfect version of a character. He's a Superman type character, which leads to bad writing because he has no flaw other than water. Whereas I would just off the top of my head suggest he probably should be flustered around girls, and that way he has a flaw, or he should also maybe be bad at one thing, maybe bad at the psychic part. That there's a problem with having him be an acrobat and psychically powerful. It would have been a lot better if there were two characters and you were switching between the psychically strong girl, Lily, and Raz, and then you just have somebody else kidnapped and needing to be saved for the final story. There are no twists in the story. It's all fairly straightforward and bland. There's no interesting different style of gameplays. There are some slight variations on gameplays, but they're not interesting. The part where you're dealing with the bull in particular is obviously too long and annoying, and they even say it in the game, and yet instead of fixing it, they just make a joke out of it. Yeah. And the truth is, I suppose that's the case with like every single Double Fine game, is that there's always this big caveat that comes with a game from Double Fine, in that it's just not as good as it should be. Psychonauts, in the Rhombus of Ruin, is a VR game that they released in 2018, I think I can read. But it's VR only, which is a mistake, frankly, because it should have been VR or non-VR versions, particularly now. Even if it was 2 or 3 years later, they should be able to release it as a non-VR game. I imagine it's not much of a story. I can tell you, though, that the graphics look a little bit better. I'm just looking at games Double Fine is listed as publishing. They have Gang Beasts, which is just a 4 versus 4 player beat 'em up. They are re-releasing Full Throttle as remastered, which like Tim Schafer did work at LucasArts, but honestly I think he got to the company fairly late, and I don't think he's particularly as influential as Ron Gilbert or anybody else who worked at LucasArts. I think he was probably the odd man out or the newbie, and that led him to help create Full Throttle, which was a decent game. and that led him down a path of getting more acclaim than he really deserves. They also released Headlander. I've covered that. I've covered Full Throttle Remastered. Day of the Tentacle Remastered. Again, they're just re-releasing old games that some of which I don't think Tim Schafer even worked on, or anybody else who worked at LucasArts worked on. I don't think I've played Grim Fandango Remastered yet. Costume Quest 1 and 2 are probably some of their best games. I don't think I've played Brutal Legend. The Cave takes just puzzles and better storytelling, more comedic storytelling from the and so if you were to have made Psychonauts much more like The Cave, where it was a more puzzle game, that might have worked. Stacking is an interesting gameplay mechanic. But yeah. They also have Iron Brigade, which I haven't played, and that was a weird one. And then a game called Hack and Slash. I feel like some of these games they also just have the publishing rights to. A game called Space Base DF9. Wow, I own basically all of the Double Fine games, and looking at them in this order is revealing, as far as how few of them are actually above average in my book, because they just all have these caveat flaws. Interesting also, Steam has removed a lot of videos because they didn't want to be in the business of like hosting videos. So there is a documentaries list on Double Fine's producer page, and it does not list any videos because those videos have been removed. Alright, well, at this point I'm pretty much just rambling. I'm done with Psychonauts. I don't think it's particularly that good. I bet you'll be perfectly fine jumping into Psychonauts 2 if you've never played it before, and just starting there. I wouldn't be surprised if Psychonauts 2 is also a disappointment. The only slight difference now versus any of the previous times that Double Fine has released a game is now they're owned by Microsoft, but it's not like Microsoft has been in ownership of Double Fine throughout the production of Psychonauts 2. So whatever Psychonauts 2 is just what the game is going to be. And I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft kind of shutters or moves people around or fires some people at Double Fine after Psychonauts 2 happens, because even if it was a massive success, the organization, and in particular I think Tim Schafer being in charge of Double Fine, has led to more flops than successes, just by the numbers. Anyways, yeah, we're sitting on a black screen. That's going to be it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.